What's up, Nitwits? Damo99 here, and with me as always, Game Over Joey.
Hey, Nitwits.
And today we're here to talk about our next early access review with, in my opinion, an amazing game of Ghost Watchers. Ghost Watchers is a co-op online horror game, and you'll explore and hunt ghosts in abandoned houses. It's pretty simple and clear-cut to the point, which makes it beautiful description and great to play. Joe, what are your thoughts on Ghost Watchers?
I love the game. It's a major switch up from Phas. Everyone's comparing these games to Phasmophobia, right? Because it's the true first ghost hunting game. Which I think anyone that watches this channel knows we're massive fans of. But this game takes it to the next level. Not only are you trying to discover what type of ghost it is, but you're also capturing the ghost. Which this game I feel does it right, because in other games we've played, I didn't enjoy the capturing piece as much, but in this game I do. So that's kind of my first thoughts on it, right? I think graphically the game looks good. It's in Unity, which is what all the ghost games use, right?
Yeah.
Your Phasmophobias, Ghost Exile. So a lot of the props are the same in a lot of other games, but I feel the gameplay is solid overall. I love the ghost models. The ghost models, they look amazing. They're terrifying. When you're turning a corner and you see the ghost staring at you, you're like, holy crap. The first time that happens to you, the hair stood on the back of my neck, and I can only assume that's everyone's first reaction. Something small, but I think massive at the same time, is it has a tutorial where you can try out all the tools, and I think that is very awesome. For a game coming out in early access and having that at the very forefront, I think is awesome. The arsenal that you have access to, the tools and everything that you get to utilize, there's a ton that you can do. I truly think that is a huge positive of the game. The lobbies, just like in most of these other games, being able to connect to play with some random people. Very simple, very quick. I'm trying to think of what else. There's so many good things about it.
I think the jump scares are amazing as well.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's one key thing, just to reiterate, what I think this game just does so amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree. The jump scares are fantastic. There's one thing I truly do love is that the electrical box doesn't get shut off by the ghost.
Yeah.
It's so small, and we're used to Phasmophobia with when you're running around, the light, electrical box gets tripped by the ghost, and then you have to go back down to the electrical box. That is like a quality of life thing that I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I do. So that's a huge plus for me. I also like that the ghost doesn't just stay in one room. It wanders the entire house, right? It has kind of like that main area, if you will, but it's everywhere throughout the house. If the ghost main area is in the living room, you can go upstairs and the ghost will be in the bathroom upstairs. And I think that is really cool. The interactions with the ghost are amazing. The character models are really good, especially at the price point of this game, right? That's something that I think we need to touch base on tremendously here. It is a cheap game with a lot to offer, and they've had how many updates? Like 3 or 4 since it dropped?
But 3 or 4 big ones. That's not just many touch-ups or anything like that, I feel.
Yeah. So oh, go ahead.
Oh no, they've already added a new ghost.
Yeah.
And they're really involved, which is great. This game is early access, which is something to reiterate. Is it completely polished or anything? No, it has its little hiccups or things that annoy you at times, but for what, a month out now, or almost a month, this game's very well done. Much better than games that we've seen before. I know a lot of people have complained that the trailers and things they saw, like the ghost, they don't do that yet, but we're already adding what was happening in the trailers to the game now. ghosts will appear on walls, and I think it's real cool. Like whenever you just walk in a room, like you said, you turn a corner, there's just a ghost there. You're like, what the? Like, and like they'll be in doorways watching you.
Yeah.
And like there are times when you're playing this game where you do feel like you're just being watched.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's like an amazing thing, aka Ghost Watchers. But like I just there's like a good tutorial. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest problems I have with Ghost Exile. Compared to like another game not called Phaz, where like you can actually hunt the ghosts and everything. I think Ghost Watchers is really well done, and it's taken like a lot of key aspects from other ghost hunting games, and have just been capitalizing on it. And I think it's beautiful for this genre because it shows more and more games are going to come out with the ideas of others, and just keep improving and keep executing, and keep developing, and we're going to get better and better and better from this. And to compare it to Phaz, I mean, it's not fair to Phaz. I mean, Phaz is kind of what it is. It is not like Ghost Watchers, in my opinion. They're kind of different, different kind of Eries too. If we're going head to head with Phaz, I enjoy Phaz for complete different reasons of why I like Ghost Watchers.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that is actually a good way of looking at it. Like I said, a lot of people are comparing it to Phaz, but it's not Phasmophobia. No. It is a completely separate. I truly feel it has its own identity, and that is something that's hard to come by, because I feel like so many other games tried to do what they're doing, they couldn't execute, and they have found that formula to where it makes sense, it feels good, you're terrified, yet you're having fun. So overall, I'm very impressed with it. Now, let me tell you what I cannot stand about the game. First and foremost, one of my biggest gripes is when you die and you're playing with randoms and they're opening and shutting the doors left and right. Yeah, that is so frustrating, because as a spirit, you technically can help us. Who's living, because you can turn on the water if that's one way to capture a ghost, right?
Or the ground.
Yeah, so you turn on the water, open the doors, shut the doors for us. So there are some things you can do to assist your teammates. You can give us indications of where the ghost is at. So I wish people did do that more often than troll, but I do see that being a thing that happens a lot when you're playing with randoms. And now you don't just don't play with randoms. That fixes that problem. But still, I do wish that there was some type of workaround. But that's one of my biggest pet peeves with the game currently right now. The second pet peeve is buying equipment, not utilizing the equipment, and you don't get to keep it after you beat the mission.
Which is ridiculous.
It is. You should be able to keep what you purchased and you don't use, and whatever you do purchase and doesn't get destroyed, you should be able to keep it too. I think that's a big one for me. And then my third con with this game specifically is around maps. There's not enough. There's one small map, and that map is the best to play because it's small. Hint, Phasmophobia is the same way. Was the same way. There's obviously more maps now, but they really only have a couple small homes. And I think just in this genre in particular, they need to come out with more small maps. Especially if you're just playing with two people, right? Yeah. Cater to people who are playing solo or just with a friend or two, maybe. Those are my three big things. What are yours, Dom?
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head about it's kind of, I think community has to learn how to play with each other. There's always trolls in every community, so I would agree with that point. I would say for the equipment thing, that's just one of the most frustrating things. At least Ghost Exorcism Inc., I believe you have to bring the equipment back to the vehicle if you buy it, and then you can keep it or something like that. It's been a while since I've touched that one. But it feels like I'm wasting my money, but you also make money pretty quick too to counter that for Ghost Watchers. One thing I do like to touch base for here, the hard difficulty in this game, when it first came out, was like easy as could be. And now if you're by yourself, like I don't know how you can win half the time. Like you get like spooked, you drop your stuff, and it's like if you don't pick it up in like milliseconds, you're gonna die. Yeah. And, or if like you're in a house with someone and then all of a sudden like the ghost starts going after them, if you're not able to turn around and hit that ghost real quick and protect them, it's over. And I think that's one thing like the game's gonna have to learn how to tweak and work, but it definitely makes for exciting games because they go quick, especially when you get like a demon or a level 3 ghost or whatever the level is.
I think you're bringing up a good point too. Is well, you didn't say this specifically, but you triggered a thought with what you said, and it's vanquishing the ghost, and it's not capturing, but vanquishing it when it's attacking you, right? Having a protection item with you. I wish that there was ways, kind of like in Phasmophobia, where you could run and hide. I do like that aspect of Phas, where you can hide from the ghost. In this one, protection items are the only way you can survive. So I would like to see them implement where, okay, I'm in the house, the ghost just attacked, and if you're playing on a high difficulty, the ghost can attack over and over again. It's happened. So I lose my protection item, but now the ghost instantly attacks and I'm upstairs and I don't get out the door and no one's with me. I wish I was able to hide from the ghost to prevent it from actually killing me.
Yeah.
I think that's something would be really cool for them to incorporate.
I also think it's also kind of annoying whenever you see the ghost, but you don't have really any clue of what it is. But the model, you're instantly able to tell, like, oh, it's the darkness. Oh, it's the drown. Oh, just because you see it, which I think it's a catch-22 because it's kind of cool that you can do it that way. But it's kind of like, well, we know who it is. I don't know. Like, that's just one way I look at it. But I think it's still creepy as could be when you see like the puppet, the new one they brought out. It's super eerie. The demon's great. The demon's pretty standard, like what you think of like a horror game. I keep saying the darkness, but like it's the first ghost that like killed me in this game, and it terrified me because it was just looking through me at a doorway, and I was like, oh, what's over here? And it just like destroyed me. Just always carry holy fire. That's the advice for this game.
Yeah. I mean, it works on everyone.
Almost everyone.
Yep.
There's one that it doesn't.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I just to kind of wrap up my thoughts on Ghost Watchers, I think it's an amazing game. It's well worth the price. It's well worth buy. If you like the horror genre, give it a shot. I mean, you're going to love it. Especially if you can play with people, it's even better. I definitely, I mean, if we're saying out of 5, it's a strong 4 out of 5. Maybe even closer to 5 out of 5. I just won't give it that because it still does have a little bit of kinks to work out, but still, this game's so well done. Like I said, I mean, it's been out for a little over a month or around a month, and it's way too much fun to put down at times, and then it's also terrifying where you're like, okay, I just have to step away for now.
Yeah, I agree. I think your wrap up there is dead accurate. I agree with you. 4 out of 5, a strong 4.
Yeah,
the game is great. It's early access. You know, there's a lot of updates to come. Hopefully, the smaller maps and the few improvements that we've had, that we brought up, get implemented at a later date. But what I will say is, $15. I mean, that's a super cheap price for what you're getting here, which is hours and hours of content. Even though there are only a few maps, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of content here. A lot of replayability just with that package that you're receiving now. And with these future updates, especially if they're free, I'm not sure if they'll always be free, but I'm just going to assume they are. You can't beat it for the price. I mean, $15, you're getting a lot of content. The devs seem to be very active in the game. It has a really good community, a very active community for the most part, as of right now, as of the recording of this podcast. And I'm super excited to see where it goes. I truly am, and I think this could be one of those games that stay alive for a long time, hopefully.
No, I think that's for the genre. I think this one's just so much different than what the other ones are like we've said before, where this game's gonna live for a while. I don't expect it to be like a Midnight Ghost Hunt where everyone leaves or there's no server problems like VHS, which we also did a review for, where it's losing people in droves, unfortunately. Ghost Watchers community has been amazing. If you follow them, you see how active they are. You see how everyone's communicating with each other. So it's great to see. It's it's something that's probably going to live on for a pretty long time because everyone just seems to be liking it, enjoying it, and it's just so much different than Phaz. It's not a carbon copy like Forewarned.
Yeah, it's totally not a carbon copy. There are some similarities, of course. I mean, there always will be. But I again, it has its own identity, and I don't think comparing it to Phaz is fair because it really truly is a different game with similar aspects. You know, both built in the same engine, so you see some similarities, but overall, it's totally different. Totally different.
But Nitwits, thanks for joining us for this early access review of Ghost Watchers. As always, stay classy.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.